Welcome back, everybody, here at the skeleton farm in our survival series. And like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when I came out with the skeleton tutorial, today we're going to set up what I'd say is a semi-automatic sorting system for the skeleton farm. But I've set up basically a sorting station that you'll build below your skeleton spawner, and that should make the process as easy and quick as possible to sort all your items out, get rid of the junk. All the while, you'll be building XP as the skeletons fall down. Now, this does use a trident killer, which, as far as I know, is specific to the Bedrock edition. So, sorry, Java players. You can still use the setup, of course, but for this one, you'll have to figure something else out for getting rid of the skeletons. You can use magma blocks, fire, stuff like that. However, you won't get the XP like you will with the Trident Killer in Bedrock Edition. So, without wasting any more time, let's jump into it. What you have here in front of you, of course, is the landing pad. And so we'll start building off this block here. And what we want to do before we even get started is we need to turn off the skeleton farm, which we've got a silk touch. So for us, grab the glass here, get some torches, and just put one on the spawner like that, and that'll turn the spawner off. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of these guys. Okay, here's a list of items that you're going to need for this farm, and some of it may vary depending on how you want to customize the area. Glass blocks, stuff like that, that's going to vary with how you want to set it up. But before you get started, gather all these items. Once you have those, come back in and we'll jump right into it. Alright, we're going to start out with clearing out this area. And what we want to do, go ahead and get rid of these trapdoors, and we'll start clearing out the space here behind the landing pad. Don't get rid of the landing pad. We're going to add on to it, so we can keep these blocks here for now. We'll just add to it for the trident killer. Alright, once you have some space cleared out, we'll clear any more blocks out as we go along. But right now we want to start with this area right here, mainly with your landing pad. We'll add a couple of blocks because what we want to do is make sure that where these guys land, when the trident killer sits here, this piston is going to at rest extend out. So what we want is with the piston extended, this space to still be clear. So what you can do is we'll start the setup of our trident killer right here. And then we're going to go around the area. You can go ahead and fill in these blocks because our next piston will sit retracted right next to the drop point. So put your next piston right there to where it lines up with the drop shaft, just like that. And then we'll skip this block here, add the next piston there, go ahead and fill some of these in as you need. Our next piston is going to go right there, so we can come over on this side, drop it in like that. And just to square it out, add in the blocks. So you can see this space right here as far as wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you want to make sure this area is 6 wide. We have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 deep. Doesn't necessarily have to be that deep up here. So it's whatever you feel like. Because we'll just go ahead and fill the space in when we're done setting up the pistons for the trident killer. And of course, we'll make sure we light it up. Okay, once you have the pistons set up in this orientation, again, our starting piston, we skip a block and have it pointing into where the skeletons are going to drop. The next piston around is right adjacent to the drop block, and so on. So our next step from this point is we're going to add our redstone torches and our observers, and this will set up the trident killer. So add a redstone torch pointing out this way. You can look at the corner of this block because we want to make sure our observer's looking out at the redstone torch. And so if you're up on top, the arrow's pointing into the piston. And we'll continue on around like that. Make sure it's looking out. Redstone torch, observer looking at the torch, and finish out the last one. Like so. So we have that set up. Before we add any more glass, go ahead and grab your trident. We can do that. Get you a lever. And this piston right here, make sure it's this one. First one we placed, go ahead and put a lever. Hit it once, and then it'll keep going. Now make sure you don't step into this corner here, because if you do, you'll pick up the trident and have to throw it back in. Now once the trident's in there, go ahead and get your glass. And again, the color of glass doesn't matter. It's up to you. We'll keep the dark glass here like we have, and what we want to do is just fill in the square around the trident killer, because we want to make sure that we can't step into that corner there and accidentally pick up the trident while we're working. And so this right here is your trident killer complete. Alright, so that's the first part done. And now we're going to want to dig out the space beneath the trident killer. We're going to build in our item sorter. So what we'll do for now, go ahead and dig these blocks out. You want to make it a step down below your trident killer, because we'll put the sorting system underneath where you can AFK while you're sorting through all the loot that these guys drop. So we'll go through, get rid of all the gravel, and come back once we've got this area cleared out. To make sure we've got enough space to work. And what you can do is you have the one level where your trident killer is. You can go ahead and clear out to the back of that. You want to pinpoint where your skeletons drop. So there's the drop shaft right there, third block from the front, and second block from the right. Alright, so we want to make sure we'll mark that and go ahead, and we know that our landing platform is 3 blocks back, second block over. So what we'll do is get your hopper. We're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. This is where our skeletons drop. We know it's right there. Go ahead and stick your hopper down right there. And what we want to do is place in some blocks around it. We're going to stick our hopper minecart. So get your minecart rail, stick it right onto the hopper. Put your hopper minecart right there, and you can go ahead and cover that up with a solid block. Now how you design this, whether you want to have it squared in like that, do it like that, doesn't matter. Whatever your preference is, keep it lit up. Go ahead and start digging out the next level beneath the hopper. And so right here, you're going to have a chest where all the initial items will fall into. So you can put a double chest that hopper is dumping into on the right hand side, just like that. Alright, after you place that double chest, we'll dig out a couple of more layers below this chest. And this is where we'll start getting our hoppers set up for the sorting system. Now you're going to have 2 hoppers stacked coming out of the chest. So what you want to do, go ahead and you can stack 2 blocks up right here and place your hoppers going into these blocks, just like that. We'll get rid of this top block here, and the bottom hoppers, you'll put 2 double chests in this orientation, just like that. Alright. Okay, now once you have this setup right here, you want to make sure you have 5 blocks behind your hopper. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have space on either side so we can maneuver around. Okay. From this point, we'll go ahead and set up our sorting system for the hoppers. Now, this sorting system was a design I found by Eggfur is his name. I'll leave a link in the description. And I was looking for, after my witch farm, naturally got a lot of feedback from people wondering what happens when the chest fills up, because once it fills up, it breaks. You have to reset the sorting system. Well, I did some research, found this design, and it's called an A-B design. So the two sorting mechanisms are different and they don't interfere with each other. So this design, no matter if these chests fill all the way up, it won't break. It'll just fill up to this chest, fill this chest up, fill all the way up to the top, and until it gets to the point where your items won't drop down anymore, and you'll just have to clean things out before it'll sort again. But it won't break the sorting system itself. And so I've tested it. So far it works. Haven't had any issues. And I think it'll be a good alternative to my previous design for the witch farm, and it's going to be a design that I use for a future witch farm that I'll be building in this series as well, but that'll be later on. So we'll start with the first module, which will be for this side. And this side will be a traditional sorting system. We're going to dig one more level down to accommodate the rest of this sorting system. Alright. We'll start with the right side. Get your stone, put it into the bottom hopper there. Put a block there. I have another block up here like this, and like that, with the final block at the end. So you can see this is your block design for that sorting system. Grab your comparator coming out of this hopper area, which of course is actually this hopper, but on this block, have that comparator pointing into this block. And if you're short like I am, we'll get up here. 2 redstone dusts across the top. 1 redstone dust in the back, and a repeater facing into this block right here, set to its default setting. Now we'll go around to the second one. Now this second one is a new design, again, that Eggfur did on his channel. And what we're going to start with is dig a hole down in there, get your obsidian blocks, obsidian block there, and your pistons. Go ahead and dig these blocks out to help you place this. What we want is for this piston to point down into the obsidian. Get yourself another block to work with. If you have to, dig another block down. Just like that. Clear that block out. So we want that piston just like that. Alright. On top of this piston, we'll have a redstone torch. Out of this, we'll have redstone. And behind this, I have another block with redstone. So over this area, we'll get glass, doesn't matter the color. You can just crouch down and place it over the redstone like that, and that'll take care of that. On top of this redstone torch, this area right here, we'll need another piston facing down. So, easiest thing, get a block coming off the chest. Once you get this piston placed, break that block. So where we're at right now, it'll look like this. Stick another block up there, and take your second comparator, place it on top of the glass, just like that. So when you're done, it should look like this. And last in this area, to finish this area off, don't forget to put a redstone torch right there. Alright. So you have all this, like so. And so since these two different systems are separate and don't interfere with each other, that'll keep the hoppers from breaking should these fill up, which, depending on how long you AFK here, it'd take quite a while. Right now, what these two chests sort out, if you haven't guessed it already, you'll have bones and arrows in one of them. It doesn't matter which side. You can choose whichever one you want, and we'll set those up a little later. But for now, this is the sorting system currently set up like it is. So we've got the hopper minecart, hopper, the initial chest everything falls into, the hoppers that will sort bones and arrows out automatically, and the sorting systems, the A-B design that will prevent this sorting system from breaking should it overflow. Alright, once we're done with this, we'll set up the rest of the sorting area. We'll go ahead and move to the left side over here. And this side over here is where we will sort out our armor. What we'll need is another single chest that will go here. This will store the smelted nuggets from armor that you're not going to use. So get your hopper, and it'll go into that chest. Make sure it's going into that chest. Sit right there. Alright, you'll grab your blast furnace, set it on the hopper like that. Your other hopper going into the top, not the side. You want it into the top. Then grab another chest. Set that chest on the top. Doesn't really matter which way it's facing. Either way will work. And then grab your second lever. We'll put it into the side like that. What this does is it allows you to put armor in the top here that you're not going to use. And when it's full, you can just turn the switch on, or whenever you want. It doesn't have to be full, but you turn the switch on, stuff will drop down, smelt, and go into the chest, and you can turn it off whenever you need to, so it doesn't keep running through a piece of your coal each time you put something in the chest. To keep from wasting your fuel, whether it's coal or whatever else, wait until the chest is full, then turn it on, and you'll conserve some fuel that way. So that'll be your armor smelting part of the sorting area. Over here on the right hand side is where we'll put our trash can. So go ahead and grab your dispenser, button, lava bucket, and we also want a grindstone, which we've got one up here already. So we'll get your grindstone and all that. Dig out that area right there. Set your dispenser facing into this space. Button on the top. Lava in the dispenser. And before you mess with anything, put that grindstone right there. When you're done with that, go ahead and place some blocks above like that. And what we'll want to do is go ahead and fill that in. So you want this area to look like this. You'll have your dispenser with a lava bucket going into an empty block. Your grindstone right there, which we'll use to disenchant and repair bows, regular bows, if you want to do that. But it also keeps you from falling into that hole. And what we'll do is, as you pull bows and armor out of this chest that you don't want, you can immediately throw it into this area. And to keep from accidentally burning up something, that's why we have this dispenser here with lava. Some trash cans is just a little pool of lava that you can just throw it into and it'll destroy it immediately. But this way you can throw everything in there, and once you're sure that you're ready to get rid of it, turn it on. It'll burn everything up, so it's just not sitting around there for a while. Then you can turn it back off again. Over in this space, we'll put a double chest, and this area is where you can store your bows. Alright. So right now, we have the sorting area set up. Now you can dress this up however you like. It's up to you. If you want, you can raise this area up to be level with your trident killing platform and do like that. You can get some stairs in here if you want. But now we can see the skeletons when they fall in. And down here, you've got your various sorting areas. One last thing you can put in behind here, if you want to, is a storage area for the armor that you want to keep. Alright, so just make sure you've cleared out space above for your chest to open. And so what you have is a place for bones, arrows, bows that you want to keep, armor that you want to keep. This is armor that you want to get rid of. Alright, and we can label all that with signs if we want. What I'll do for this side, I want bones, arrows, bows. Over here, armor. If you want to put a sign up there for your discarded armor, go ahead. But for myself, we'll have armor, bones on the left, arrows on the right, bows on the right. Now to finish this out, in these top hoppers, we'll go ahead and sort out what we need. So grab yourself a bone, 1 arrow, and then we need 23 items of a block that's not going to pass through there. Preferably something named, but if you don't have something named, then something that's not going to pass through your skeleton system. Alright, so the filler items need to be 23 of something, preferably named if you've got it, but it doesn't have to be. So what you'll do is 1, 2, 3 in that row, and 18 in this second row, or second slot. And then whatever the item is, which in this case is going to be a bone, and then 23 filler blocks. So it's better than previous sorting systems where you have to have 40-something in there and it takes up a lot of space. Equally spaced, all that stuff. For this one, you just need 1 of whatever you're sorting, 23, preferably named items if you can. If not, something like this that's not going to pass through should work just fine. And for this side, do the same, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll put 18 here, 17, 18, and your arrow. Okay, so that's the automatic sorting setup. And so we'll run this in just a second. We're going to check, make sure everything's set. We've got that set up. All right. That right there is your skeleton farm sorting area. Now again, you can dress this up however you like, but this is the bare bones, pun intended, of the sorting system. But once that's finished, get our tinted glass and turn on. There you can see they spawned. We'll go up here, watch them drop down first. Alright, we'll let a few of these guys drop down so that we can get quite a few materials going through the sorting system. And I'll show you the method that I use to utilize this sorting system. So we'll be back with you here in a few minutes. Alright, we're back. It's been a few minutes, and as you can see, chamber is filled up pretty good with skeleton, lots of armor, and lots of bows, lots of stuff to test out the system. So before we turn this thing on, one of the things I do to get ready is set up my inventory to sort out all these items in the quickest way possible. So what I do, fill up this area and keep your hotbar clear of items. And so after you turn it on, you can stand in this space here, and this will just be your workstation for sorting out all the loot that comes through this hopper. The hardest part to me, or one of the time-consuming parts, is getting rid of bones and arrows when you're trying to sort out your bows and your armor. And in other places, I'd have the storage chests like this, a little ways away from here, so running back and forth just takes up a lot of time. So this way, the trident killer's doing the work of killing the skeletons. You're still getting the XP. You can keep it on and sort while it's killing the skeletons, or you can just turn it off and on when you feel like. So as this starts to fill up, what I do with your inventory full and your hotbar clear, I go ahead and sort out all the useless stuff, which is that right there. And then you can come over here and just very quickly throw this stuff into the trash can. As long as you haven't thrown anything expensive, turn it on, that stuff's gone. And then what I do is take the rest of it out that you can to fill that up and do what you want with it. With the armor, if you like what you see, keep it. If you don't, then you can take and disenchant it to get the XP for the bows. Early on, any bow is helpful, but as your game progresses, you can disenchant the bows that aren't worth anything. And so you have the grindstone here. You can put 2 in, disenchant both of them, and if you feel like keeping one of these that's in the green to repair another bow, you just put it in there. Up here, any of your unchanted armor, you can just stick in there, and as you can see, this thing is switched on. So we want to switch it off. We'll go ahead and get our coal. There we go. So it's switched on. There. Switch it off there. We can disenchant the armor we don't want to keep. Leather. Just get rid of unless you really want it. Or if you have leather boots, you can keep some of those. But honestly, it's not really that useful. So with that turned off, this will sit up here. And just wait until it fills up and then turn it on so we don't waste the coal. And if you find armor that you want to keep, put it over there. So again, go ahead, put stuff in the hotbar, throw what we don't want away, throw the armor that we don't want into the chest, and that's it. You can just stand in this one spot and sort through all your items. The bones and the arrows will sort themselves out, and that'll save you time. And you'll have all these chests here that you can come back and utilize as your game progresses. So again, this has been designed and built to save the most time possible sorting through all these items. And so the bones and the arrows sort themselves out. You can sort through the armor and the bows that you want to keep and that you want to get rid of. And you don't have to move from this position to do it. You just flip the switch, stand here, get XP. And as you're getting XP, you can just sort through these items as they come down into the chest. Okay, before we head out, I wanted to go ahead and show you what happens when the arrow in the bones chest fills up, and that this is an item sorter that will not break if the chest fills up, and how you can take care of it. So, what I've gone ahead and done, this is a creative copy of the world, and so I've gone ahead and filled chest up with bones, chest up with arrows. These hoppers will fill up with bones and arrows, and so far we haven't put anything else in it. So I'll show you what happens. We turn it on and we start getting more bones. You can see it's gonna drain down until this one fills up to 64. And then, naturally, doesn't have anywhere to go. So it'll start filling up into the chest. And once this chest is full, fill the hopper up, minecart hopper, and then it'll just sit on the landing pad up there until it despawns. So the way to clear it out, you don't have to mess with the hoppers at all if you don't want to. Just literally come in here, take out some stacks of these, and you can just get rid of them over here in the trash can, like so. And so this will start filling up again. As you can see, it's draining down. And once that chest drains down, then these will drain down back to 1. Nothing else will go out of the hoppers. And these hoppers will stay full of 64. So if you want to clean those out, you can. One item will always stay in this slot. But otherwise, it's working again. So all you have to do is clean this out, and it's going to start flowing again. You don't have to mess with the sorting system there. Same thing on this one. It doesn't break. You just have to empty out the chest, and it'll start working again. Easy as that. As you can see, this is a compact design and a very useful sorting system. And so if you enjoy it, if you find it useful, please leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. I'll try to get back to you. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.